We have to solve for this integral problem here by using the integration by parts, okay? So the problem is integral of -1 to 0 of x squared times exponential negative x dx. So the integration by parts says what? So you have integral of u prime of x times v of x dx, and that is equal to, then you have u of x times v of x minus integral of u of x times v prime of x dx, okay? So what we need to actually know is which one is going to be our v and which one is going to be our u prime between the two functions, because we have two functions here, x squared and then exponential negative x. Like we explained in the previous video, what really happens is that we want to choose the function where the derivative is easy to find, okay? So in this case, I'm going to say is x to the second power. So that will be the v, all right? So the v is going to be my x to the second power, knowing that the v prime is going to be 2x. Easy to find, okay? And then once I go u prime, so u prime is exponential negative x. So what is that going to give us? Because this one is already the derivative, so we're going to have to integrate it to find the initial function. So the integration of this one is negative. So u then is going to be negative exponential negative x. All right? So now we're going to apply the formula. Okay, so now we're going to apply the formula. So here is the formula here. So it's going to be u times v. So u times v is going to be what? So u times v. Okay, so u times v. So that would give us what? So that would give us negative x squared exponential negative x. Okay, so from -1 to 0. Everybody good? All right, then minus, we have to now go with u of x times v prime of x. So which one is u? U is this one here. So u, so negative, and then that will be times 2x, so that means negative 2x exponential negative x dx. All right, so that's what we have so far. Okay, now we can work on this one here, which is going to give us what? So when we work on this one here, so it's going to give us, so 0 to second power and all of that, 0 times anything is going to give us 0. Okay, so this one is going to be 0 or minus 0 if you want to, doesn't really matter. And then minus, so this one here now is going to give us what? Minus, so it's going to be -1 to second power. That is this minus here already. And then -1 to second power, exponential minus -1 also. Okay, so that finishes the first part here. Then minus, so we have negative, that will give us a positive. So we have positive, then we can also take the 2 out because that's a constant. We can always do that to make life easier. So we have integral from -1 to 0, and then we go to this part here. So that is x exponential negative x dx. Now, what do we see? We see that for this part here, we cannot just find the integral straight up. So we have to also, again, go with the integration by parts a second time. We can do that. We can even go third time if possible. Okay? So we come back here to finish the work that we have here. So -0 is 0. We don't need to do anything on that. So -1 to the second power is 1, positive. Then this one is negative. And then the negative, we change this one to a positive. Then exponential, negative is +1. See how we dealt with that one? Easy, right? Then we take the second one here now. So we have +2 times whatever we're going to get from here. Okay? So let's go for that one. So we said we're going to use, again, integration by part for this problem here. So again, which one is going to be the v? Which one is going to be the u prime? Again, for v, we take the one that will give us an easy derivative, period. Okay? And then the other one, of course, we're going to find the integral of that. So let's go for it. Okay, so for this one, so again, over here, v is going to be x. So that means v prime is going to be 1. Then u prime is then going to be exponential negative x. Then u, which is then the integral of this one, is negative exponential negative x. The same thing as the one that we did here already, okay? Here, this one. So now we're going to still use the formula, the same formula, it doesn't change. But don't forget about, so this is equal to e only plus 2 times, so put bracket because the 2 will multiply everybody that follows, okay? So that's u times v, so that would then be negative x exponential negative x, then negative 1 to 0, all right? Then minus integral of u times v prime, so u times v prime, so that's negative 1 times exponential negative x exponential negative x only. So dx in this case, all right? And then everybody's close like that. Then when we come here, this is e plus 2, okay? So we can work this one out here. So 0 again, the whole this part is going to be 0 like we did before. So it's nothing new for this one. Then minus, we're going to work this one out now. So it's minus again, negative 1 times exponential negative 1 power negative 1. So negative 1 times negative 1 here, okay? So that's what we have the power, so we're using this one at this point. Okay, then minus, then here, negative 1 to 0. Let's don't forget about that, very important. So then we gotta find, so this one negative, negative, that becomes a positive. So we gotta find the integral of exponential negative x. We know that one. So this then will give us negative exponential negative x. Again, so this one is negative 1 to 0. You see how interesting this problem is. It's not that it's difficult, but it's cumbersome, step by step. You gotta be careful. So we go e here plus 2. So we gotta work this one out here, okay? So we can put parentheses here too, just to clear things out. So negative, negative is positive. Then another negative is gonna be negative, right? So negative times negative is negative. This one is positive. So we have plus, so negative, negative, positive, and then negative. So negative exponential, negative, negative 1 is positive 1, okay? We don't need to put it. And then this one, so this one is done. It's cleared out. So plus here now, so the 0 comes here, okay? So we're going for this one here. So it's minus exponential negative 0, or just 0. Then minus also, okay? So it's minus again. This one here, so that's negative exponential negative 1 times negative 1. Very interesting problem. So this one is the bracket, okay? Very interesting problem. So now we go here, we go exponential plus 2. Then what's happening? So we have the bracket is back, we have negative exponential is back, and then plus, and then this one here, negative exponential. So exponential 0 is 1. So it's going to give us then negative 1, okay? And then here this is positive 1. And then negative, negative is going to give positive also. Okay? So it's going to give a positive, then exponential as well. So exponential 1, and then we close this one. Then we have e plus 2. So let's finish what we have inside the bracket. So we have negative e, then minus 1 plus e. All right? And then these two we crossed out. So you end up with then e, 2 times this one is minus 2. And ladies and gentlemen, your final answer is e minus 2. And this is proven. This is the problem. This is our answer. Voila. Okay? This is nice, right? So you got to take your step, your time to do these kinds of problems. You get something like this on a test. You have to take your time. It's not that it's difficult, but you can mess it up very quickly if you're not paying attention, if you're not taking your time, okay? Thank you.